afternoon to you and welcome to Connacht Park in Clane for this All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship Camogie semi-final between Roscommon and Wexford. If you were with us yesterday, of course you know, at the same venue here, Armagh eventually got the better of Clare. It was quite close in the first half, but once Armagh got to grips with things towards half-time, they then kicked on in that second half to defeat Clare by 2-13 to 1-6. So they lie waiting, the All-Ireland champions, the reigning All-Ireland champions, in the final in Croke Park on the 12th of September for one of these. Will it be Wexford? Will it be Roscommon? Well, we'll wait and see how things play out. Man in the middle today is Aaron Hogg. He, of course, of Clare, has already refereed Roscommon, and that was in the Division 4 league final that they succumbed to Cavan that day. But, well, according to Frank Brown and a lot of people down around Roscommon, things have turned fortunes, and a man that might be able to tell me a little bit about that has joined us here for a little bit of analysis this afternoon, and that, of course, is Ian Cooney. Ian, you know, Roscommon, I'm sure, you know, you went to Cavan last weekend, probably expecting, you know, a better performance than what obviously had been thrown up in the league final, but well, got a bit of a surprise, I suppose.
That was a fantastic performance, Killian. 18 points between the sides 9 weeks earlier, and you draw Cavan again, and you're going up there, I suppose, maybe more in hope than expectation. But that wasn't the feeling among the players and the management. They felt that, especially Frank, thought that they would need more time with the players to work on a game plan, and they come out against Cavan, and you know, they had a very good game plan in place, but it was heart, it was intensity. You know, really, you know, fantastic performance, and you know, it was 6 points in it in the end, but it was a comfortable 6-point win. I think Cavan got their goal with maybe the last puck of the game. So, you know, to turn an 18-point deficit into a 6-point victory in the space of 9 weeks, you know, takes some going, especially at this level. So, you know, the momentum from that, they'll hope to carry it in today, but they're facing a very formidable Wexford side. And you know, really Roscommon, you would think again have it all to do today.
Yeah, well, let's as we see Roscommon on our pictures there, let's run down through the team, which shows no changes, and obviously a Roscommon side that has seen a little bit of rejig from that league final when I saw them, but 1 to 6 is practically the same. It'll start anyway with Michaela Fallon of Oran in goal. It's Chloe White-Lennon of Athleague, Niamh Farrell of Athleague, and Emer McNally of St Dominic's will be the full back line. The half backs, it's all St Dominic's, Rachel Dolan, Joanne Beattie and Anya O'Mara. At centre field then, another St Dominic's player had a big game against Cavan the last day, Shauna Fallon, alongside the captain Niamh Coyle from Four Roads. Then it's a half forward line, 2 Athleague players sandwiching a St Dominic's player, Rachel Fitzmaurice, who's a dual player, of course, involved with the Roscommon lady footballers. Rebecca Brennan is on the other wing, and in the centre then, wearing the 11 shirt, is Niamh Watson. And the full forward line then made up of top of the right, Kelly Hopkins of Athleague, Nicola Crean, who got a goal against Cavan from Four Roads, and also a goal scorer against Cavan was Leah Rowe from the Oran club. Now for Wexford there is one change. It comes in the half forward line. It sees Megan Cullen from the Castletown Lee Mellows club come in and place Kate Devericks from the Rathgar Road Cushinstown club. We'd expect to see her though at some point, but they line out in goals with Lara O'Shea of Glen Barntown. It's Glen Barntown then 2 and 3 for Claudia Jackman, and the full back Aisling Halligan, who's also a full back on the Wexford ladies football team that'll be in the intermediate final in Croke Park next weekend, so a busy few weekends for her ahead. Sinead Furlong and Buffers Ali. Then in the half forward line, it's St Iber Shelboneers, Ciara Donoghue is the captain, along with 2 from Oulart Bala. Aideen Brennan wears the number 6 shirt, Aoife Dunn on the wing. It's an all Glen Barntown centre field then, Chloe Cash, who got 9 points against Armagh in their previous game, alongside Roisin Cooney. Then it's Megan Cullen, who comes in wearing number 23. Ciara Banville, she's also a dual star, plays midfield for the lady footballers. She's here today wearing 11 from the Tamun Camross club, and also who plays with the lady footballers is Ailish Neville. She wears the 12 shirt for the ladies. She wears number 12 here in the Camogie setup as well. She of the St Iber Shelboneers. She got 4 points against Armagh and could feature quite highly in this one too. And then in the full forward line, it's Emma Tompkins of Kilrush, who's also involved with the lady footballers, and 2 St Martin's players then. Emma Codd will be the full forward, and Lisa Furman, who got 1-2 against Armagh, will wear the number 15 shirt. So those are the teams. Both sides have never won the Kate Mills Cup, so they're endeavouring to put that maybe behind and an opportunity to do it against Armagh the next day. Have to go back to the 70s when Wexford were last competing in the final. Roscommon, of course, lost the 2015 final to Laois. But Roscommon coming in here having defeated Cavan by 2-11 to 1-8, lost to Clare by 1-10 to 9, and defeated Kildare in their first match 2-26 to 4, and Wexford on the back of wins against Armagh 1-17 to 1-12 and a 1-12 to 2-4 win over Waterford. Aaron Hogg has the ball in hand, ready to get going. Decent enough crowd in on the far side anyway, and here joining us in the stand as Aaron Hogg throws the ball in and game is on, and it looks like Chloe Cash is the one that is able to direct this ball in her possession and throw it back to her centre back Aideen Brennan. Brennan delivers it long then as we attack the country end of the ground here in the famed Conniff Park in Clane. Looking to get going here straight away is Ciara Banville, and gets the strike off, but it's blocked away there. She lost track of it with the Roscommon back sitting, and it's thrown out there by Chloe White-Lennon towards Rachel Fitzmaurice. Rachel knocking the ball down along the wing. Didn't have great fortune with the lady footballers this year. We'll probably hope that it will end up in Croke Park with the Camogie side is getting on the way now. Niamh Watson, the St Dominic's player, lovely bit of speed from her, trying to flick it down along the wing now. Look at the turn back inside. Kelly Hopkins looking around. Good decent ball inside. It's caught well there. Roscommon now in a bit of a charge here into the clubhouse end here of Conniff Park, but that's a weak enough shot, I suppose, off in the end there. Ian probably could have been worked a little bit better, because I'm not sure she was the right option, Rebecca Brennan there.
Yeah, but it was great play. I think it was by Joanne Beattie, stopped Wexford in its tracks, and really a brilliant run by Niamh Watson got that attack underway, and Roscommon here on the attack again, but Wexford have cut it out.
Yeah, Wexford have cut it out here in the opening minute. That opportunity there, and it's Chloe Cash has got 9 points against Armagh. Looked like she charged through there, and well spotted by Aaron Hogg. Stood up well there was Rachel Fitzmaurice. But going to be interesting. Shauna Fallon wearing 8 for Roscommon got 8 points against Cavan. Chloe Cash, the number 8 for Wexford, got 9 points against Armagh in their previous games. So it could be a right shootout between those two. As Roscommon then have this free just outside their 45, down towards, we said, the clubhouse end, and it is the aforementioned Shauna Fallon knocking that ball down there, but it's Wexford that cut it out with looking to flick it across Aoife Dunn, but it's well robbed there, you'd have to say, by Kelly Hopkins. Looking to get the ball inside. It's gone all the way through though to Lara O'Shea, and the Glyn Barntown player flicks this ball out, looking for full back or centre back Aideen Brennan, but that ball is delivered back in, and O'Shea has got to be careful there. Put her hand up. Referee says that there was players in the square. It's going to be a free out, and Roscommon, you know, belying maybe that some people might say they're underdogs here and outsiders in a way, have taken it to Wexford here in the early stages.
Yeah, they have started well, Killian, and you know, 2 great catches there by Kelly Hopkins, but equally 2 good catches by Lara O'Shea, the Wexford goalkeeper. That'll settle her down and give her great confidence for the rest of the match.
Ball going to be taken out then, the puck out here with Lara O'Shea over to the far side, batted down by Roscommon again as they look to keep the pressure on here, even though they are playing into a stronger breeze than was here yesterday evening. It's a little bit cooler as well. We did have sunshine, and the breeze was just keeping us nice and balmy, but well, it's a little bit stronger here today, and it will favour Wexford in this first half, but it's Roscommon who are taking the play to them, but Wexford have dealt with this in a lovely little bit of skill out of the Wexford defence now. Still an opportunity there was Megan Cullen that was coming out charging with that ball. In fact, it was Clodagh Jackman, sorry, you saw the 2 there in a quick hurry, and Clodagh overplayed the ball then, and it's going to be a free that's going to be taken by Shauna Fallon, St Dominic's player.
I think Frank Brown would be absolutely delighted with the work rate of his team. It was the hallmark of their victory against Cavan, and that time it was Shauna Fallon hunting down the Wexford midfielder. You know, hooked her, got the free, and Roscommon now on the attack.
So Roscommon to get on the attack, but you would feel maybe need to get on the scoreboard with this dominance that they've had in the opening minute here. We saw it against for Clare yesterday, certain amount of dominance in the opening quarter, and then just didn't convert it on the scoreboard as the ball is knocked in long. Wexford just stepping back in case any break comes off it, but on the top of the D, it's an opportunity for full forward Nicola Crean. Nicola jiggles with it though once and twice, and then eventually got the shot off, and she's blocked away off it. Wexford looking to get it clear here with Aideen Brennan. Bit of a clash of the ash, and Aisling Halligan is there to help out. As we said, Aisling going to be a busy lady. Next weekend she lines up for the Wexford intermediate footballers against Westmeath in Croke Park, and I'm sure she'd love to be back in Croke Park 2 weekends in a row, because don't forget, Armagh will be the opponents for either Roscommon or Wexford in that Premier Junior final in Croke Park on the 12th of September. Sideline cut then to come from the busiest lady on the field so far is Shauna Fallon. Wexford come out with a goal. Looked like a little bit of steps there, but it's cleared. But Wexford have maybe overcooked it here a little bit because Rachel Fitzmaurice looks like she's on sweeping duty there, Ian.
Yeah, she was the same last week and absolutely was brilliant in the second half against Cavan. But one of Roscommon's star players, she brings a huge energy to proceedings, a dual player as well. But if Roscommon are to go well today, Rachel Fitzmaurice is going to have to play well. Anya
O'Mara tried to get forward that ball, but she was legally stopped there, says Aaron Hogg, by number 2, Clodagh Jackman. And it's going to be a free then, and probably the most clear-cut one for Shauna Fallon. I'd say this is within her range, Ian, even though we are talking about 58 metres out or thereabouts.
Yeah, last week against Cavan she was hitting these ones over, so this might give us an indication of the strength of the breeze you were talking about. This probably is just on the edge of her range.
So Shauna Fallon then stepping up to this. Oh, looks like it has enough juice. Has it got the accuracy? Spotted back in. The umpire though says that ball was gone wide, so that's registered as a wide there. So she does have the distance, we know then, but it just was a little bit off there, and that goes down as a wide against Shauna Fallon here with just coming up on 6 minutes gone here as Wexford now looking to build out from the back, play the ball over here towards Aoife Dunn. The famed Dunn name, of course, of Owler Tabala, as this ball is on the charge with Ailish Neville, as we said, a good dual star. Looking to get forward here now, being tracked all the way by Rachel Dolan. Got 4 points the last day, but this is going to drop into the hands of Michaela Fallon. She's time to step out, but that ball was a little bit loose, and Roscommon got to be careful here now and build out from the back. Looking to get on this ball now and on the hop on the break here. Could be Rebecca Brennan, had that wide after the first minute. Gives it off to Shauna Fallon, who registered the second one. Shauna then scoops it across field, looking for the run of Kelly Hopkins. Hopkins might get there, but Wexford defence read that well, and there to mop it up is Clodagh Jackman. Clodagh seems to be the free player, it would seem, on occasion, because obviously Rachel Fitzmaurice is the one playing sweeper at the back. Is picked up here now by Dunn. Dunn looking to offload this ball now, but there's 3 Roscommon players to 1 Wexford player there, and again it's picked up by Fitzmaurice, reading that line very, very well, looking to come out with it now, and looked like she was illegally tapped there, says Aaron Hogg, and it's going to be a free out again. So Wexford just look like they're struggling with the placement of that sweeper at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, Rachel Fitzmaurice is just such an integral part to Roscommon's game plan, just sweeping there in front of the full back line, and that's 3 or 4 balls now she's got her hands on and cleared up the field, and Roscommon have got a free or something from it. So, you know, the game plan in terms of where they've positioned Rachel is certainly working for Frank Brown and his management team at the moment.
Yeah, so of course Roscommon coming into this game, probably a lot of people not expecting them to trouble Wexford, but at the moment they're causing a few problems, and down at the far end Wexford are having to scoop this ball away. But here's Niamh Watson going to have a shot off, but it's going to be batted away there and batted out into a little bit of safety for herself by Lara O'Shea. Didn't attempt to catch it, just wasn't sure, batted out and had time to clear, getting on it. But it's Roscommon that have reacted, but Wexford are picking up the breaks here with the captain Ciara Donoghue from the St Ibers Shelmilliers club as this ball batted forward now, and Fitzmaurice out a little bit position, but it just happens to hop for her, and she's in the right place when it mattered as she looks to play this ball forward. Lovely intelligent ball into the middle of the field now, going to be delivered long here by Niamh Coyle, but she didn't really look when she headed off that shot. Probably should have went to the corners there, Ian.
Yeah, should have gone to the corners, straight down the throat of the Wexford sweeper. 2 sweepers having a pretty big impact in the game at the moment, you'd have to say.
Yeah, ball across the field now, and it's going to be Emma Coddes trying to win the race here, but it looks like getting back there is Emer McNally. Emer steps left and then right, and then here's a shout from her clubmate Joanne Beattie, and Beattie looking to play it up along the wing, but it's a little bit short, and it's picked up by the sub Megan Cullen. Cullen going to have a shot off. This is some score. She puts it over the bar. First score of the game for the player to come in for Kate Devericks at the start of the game. Megan Cullen from a tight angle there, Ian, just after 8 minutes. That's some score.
Well, if we're not going to really, you would imagine it'd be hard to believe we're going to see a score of that quality again. She was out near the right sideline and she absolutely nailed that. A brilliant score.
This, of course, coverage of the All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship semi-final between Wexford and Roscommon, and it is Wexford a point to no score in front, and they're on the charge here now with Chloe Cash over on that far side in Croke Park. If you're keeping an eye on that, it's Galway 12, Tipperary 9 in that battle there, as this ball played inside now by Ailish Neville. Dangerous enough ball though, it's just hopping a little bit too far out for the keeper to come to, so Roscommon defence got to be very, very careful. Wexford a point, Roscommon no score here in Connaught Park in Clane, County Kildare, for the right to play in Croke Park in 2 weeks' time against Armagh. Roscommon looking to charge out with it, but illegally challenged there was Joanne Beattie by Ciara Banville, and Banville's going to have a bit of a speaking to hear by Aaron Hogg, and I wonder, is she going to have more than just her name taken? will we see a card brandished out here? And he's saying, yeah, that's constituting a rough play or whatever you want to say. And it's a yellow card in the early stages here then for the centre forward for Wexford, Ciara Banville. From Tamun Camross as ball played across field. But again, Roscommon have been guilty on occasion there now, just, you know, when they've got possession, giving it away easy. Yeah,
that's 2 balls that have gone straight to a Wexford player, and if Roscommon are going to win this game, they just need to put a bit more width on the play and not be going straight down the middle all the time. And I suppose that was the most disappointing of the whole lot, because there was no pressure on the player that hit the ball.
So this ball is going to be played down along the wing there now, as we saw from that sideline cut. And it's picked up by Cullen. Cullen, maybe this is the reason why she's been brought in. Cullen is getting through. She's been fouled. The advantage. The ball is in the back of the net. And Megan Cullen, maybe that's the reason why she's been brought in there, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant play again. Got around the Roscommon defence, and I suppose they called maybe a bolt or a bolt from the blue, and you know, she has made a huge difference. Although Aaron Hogg is going into the umpire, I wonder what they're hardly going talking about the weather. I think the goal has been allowed. Yeah,
no, he's just, well, the umpire's writing down. He's obviously keeping notes as well, keeping note of score or whatever. But yeah, just he had allowed the advantage, and well, she was just able to step beyond Michaela Fallon and knock that ball to the back of the net. Megan Cullen, and we know why she's in the team. A goal and a point in the space of about 90 seconds as this ball breaks down. A chance maybe for Rebecca Brennan to get going. The Roscommon crowd urging her on here. They've made the travel across the Midlands. And playing this ball forward. Wexford now starting to get into a little bit of a groove. Ailish Neville looking to step inside, playing this ball into the middle, and it's Cash that's going to take it on here now. The Glen Barntown player has the advantage, still going, charging on, shoot from distance, but that's a bad wide. Advantage was allowed, but that is registered as a wide there for Chloe Cash. As I said, did get 9 points against Armagh in their group game. Of course, Wexford, well, they'll be fancying themselves of playing Armagh in the final. Have beaten them 3 times this year already in the league group stage, in the league final, in the group stage of the championship. So I reckon they believe that they would have the beatings of Armagh in the final. But well, an Armagh team that got into a groove here yesterday would be hard to know. But Roscommon, I'm sure, will have a thing to say. But the need, Ian, you would feel, with the possession that they've had, and they've had enough of it, need to get a score. Yeah, just need to get a score to settle them down. But the Wexford, is it the centre back, Aileen Brennan, that's, you know, 2 or 3 you know, delivers. She's mopped up there in the half back line. Rachel Fitzmaurice has been doing it for Roscommon, but you know, a lot of the deliveries that Roscommon are sending in there are aimless. They're 50-50 balls. They're not really giving the forwards any chance to win them, and there's another one gone in. Another high ball going in then, looking for the drop there. Leah Rowe. Leah got a goal against Cavan, but it's cut out again there, and well, it's just the battle is being won by the more plentiful Wexford backs that are in there. Roscommon having to work very hard to get on the ball. And you would have to feel, if a ball is going in like that, it is a little bit aimless. But if you're in a scenario where there's been 5 on 3, I feel like it's going to be very hard to win it. Very hard to win it. But I mean, I suppose it's the reaction to the Roscommon players. They did a lot of that against Cavan. Hit high ball in on top of the Cavan goalkeeper, and you know, they were only a whisker away of maybe, you know, connecting with the rebound to get it into the net. So I suppose it's risk versus reward. All you need is one of them to work out for you. Absolutely. But maybe with that breeze at the moment against them, it's not maybe an option that you should be trying from halfway line or something. Yeah, need to maybe work it in a little bit and try and be a bit more creative than just lumping high ball in on top of your full forward line. We're heading towards the water break, and Wexford, I see Alan Brennan out here in front of us. He is keeping an eye on things, affectionately known as Butty, as the ball is played across the field. It's going to be picked up by, again, Wexford's Emma Tompkins. As Cash then takes a charging roll up the middle. Bit of a loose pass to Fitzmaurice, so she did that very well, kept her eye on the ball, and dispossessed Cash of it and goes charging forward. Now pops a pass here to O'Mara. O'Mara looking to step along and play a diagonal ball. That's a bit more of an intelligent ball, but it's asking an awful lot of Wexford's, or I should say Rebecca Brennan, Roscommon's number 12, to get there, but she does, in fairness to her. Flights this ball back in now. Here's an opportunity. Leah Rowe. Rowe gets a touch on it. Ball is in there, played again for Kelly Hopkins. Hopkins hit the deck. She's appealing to the referee. I think it was just in the play, and not sure there was anything of a foul nature about it. This ball now trying to get beyond Ailish Neville, but it does get beyond Ailish Neville. Gets beyond Rachel Dolan as well, but it is a Roscommon ball.
I think that's the key, Killian. You got to go either side of the sweeper rather than going down the middle all the time, and that was Rebecca Brennan did really, really well to get that ball, and something nearly came out of it. But I think that's the key in this first half for Roscommon. Just keep the width a bit more.
Well, you're looking at it, definitely Wexford were struggling with it at the other end, and they've started playing Megan Cullen into the game a little bit more, both left and right of the field, and they've got a goal and a point out of it.
Yeah, that's the key.
Ball is played in the middle then by Shauna Fallon. She gets the return, but she took it out over the sideline. And despite the protestations of some of the Roscommon players, there was no question that ball was out over the line. Hopefully it doesn't affect your viewing here. The always curse the defence here at Conniff Park in Clane. Just for on the camera, you probably won't be able to see too much of the sideline cuts on this side, but hopefully it doesn't distract from. We will try and describe it as best we can as playing the ball in field. Shauna Fallon then, lovely take there by Kelly Hopkins. Nice little hop pass to Rebecca Brennan, but it's spun up a little bit too high, and Wexford, well, it's just a little bit too intrinsic by Roscommon. They need to be a little bit more direct, and this is one thing that Wexford are definitely doing. Ball is played on by Emma Tompkins. A chance inside now, maybe for Banville. Banville trying to get it further on towards Megan Cullen. Cullen looking to get in here, but it's flicked away from her. Desperate defending by Roscommon. They've done the needful though. They've got it out here, 40 metres out. Wexford looking to get going here. Banville looking to have a shot. Great block down though there by Joanne Beattie, and Beattie picks it up and looks to flick it over here to the left hand side, looking to beat it over the top now. Hopkins looking to win a race to the sideline, looking to keep it in play, does it very well over there against Aoife Dunn, hits the deck. Linesman didn't put the flag up, but the referee decides that it was a foul, and well, Aoife Dunn is pleading what did I do wrong over there, but I don't think there's any question about it. Once Hopkins was going down on the ball, it was a little bit of a touch on the back, and free given, and it's Hopkins it takes. Doesn't really connect with it too well, but Rebecca Brennan tried to get a touch on it, but it's taken away by Claudia Jackman, the Glenbarntown player. Looking to play this ball down along the wing. Played forward though by Fitzmaurice, the Athletic player. Looking to get a touch on it there was Leah Rowe, but she's, look at the moment, Leah Rowe, 3-4 Wexford players around her.
She has no hope of getting that ball. I mean, Roscommon just need to work it a bit better than that, because there's no way that they're going to get the ball, and here's danger here.
Yeah, Eilish Neville, and she's a speed merchant looking to flay this ball inside. Here's a one-on-one opportunity now. Wexford bending down with Emma Codd. She put the ball over the bar, but that should have been in the back of the net.
Yeah, could have been a goal. Probably should have been a goal, but again, that comes from Roscommon giving the ball away. Wexford work it up the field, and what Wexford have are strong runners, and once they go at you, very, very hard to stop. And the attack before that, Roscommon just about kept them out, but that time, definitely was a point. I think we have the water break.
Water break. We have Ian 1-2 to no score in favour of Wexford here. A good start by Roscommon. Plenty of purpose, you would say, in the first 7 or 8 minutes there. But once Megan Cullen got that point and she followed it up then with the goal, it's been really all Wexford since, hasn't it?
Yeah, Roscommon have had plenty of possession. It's just that, it's what they're doing with the possession. I mean, it's kind of very hopeful, a lot of the ball that's going into their forwards. And, you're hitting high hopeful deliveries in on top of Nicola Crean and Leah Rowe. They're not going to get them. They need to get the ball in front of them in space where they can actually turn and take on their markers. Whereas Wexford, very, very strong running game, and once they run at that Roscommon defence, they look to have them in all sorts of trouble. And then, of course, it was they made such an excellent start. The player that they brought in got the 1-1. So it's looking pretty good for Wexford so far, and they are justifying their favourites tag.
Are justifying it indeed. Emma Codd with that point, then the latest score just before the water break, coming up to full time in Crow Park. If you're keeping an eye on the action there, it looks like Galway are on the way to returning to the final. Although I just noticed as well that Dervla Higgins has picked up a red card, so I'm wondering, will that see her miss the All-Ireland final, which would be a bit despairing from a Galway point of view, because they've had struggles in the defence, and now they look like they've lost Dervla Higgins, who has really come into form since the loss of Heather Cooney there in that Galway defence. But 13 points to 10 in the closing stages there. Tipperary look like they're throwing everything at it there to try and get something in the closing matters of that game. Cork and Kilkenny to follow in that, but Wexford up against Roscommon here, and in the driving seat at the moment with the breeze on their back, which, as I said, a little bit stronger than it was here yesterday evening, and thankfully the sun has come out now as well. Might bring the temperature up a little bit. With 1-2 to no score, it's Wexford that are in front. It's the All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship semi-final, and it's the K Mills Cup that will be presented on the 12th of September. And the puck out comes from Michaela Fallon then after that score from Emma Codd. Could have been a goal, but it turned into a point, and Wexford now getting the advantage here. And you'd feel Wexford first to the ball. I do know, I think I read in your report, Ian, that you talked about Roscommon against Cavan, first to everything the last day, but they're just not getting it all their own way here.
They're not, but Wexford are a different proposition. Like, there's a great ball out into space, and this should be a score.
Ball and opportunity, setting it right up for Emma Tompkins, dropping it in, and dropping over the bar. She just had enough gas in it there to knock that ball over, and it makes it 1-3 to no score. And all of a sudden, you would feel, Ian, that Roscommon need something to happen for them, just a score, because the confidence is starting to drift a little bit.
Yeah, this game is getting away from them. They just need to settle with a score. But the score really, I'd have to say, it's not as if I have them down for 2 wides. It's not as if they've hit an awful lot of wides. It's not as if they're missing chances. It's just that Wexford backline. There's 2 or 3 Wexford players around Leah Rowe when she gets the ball. It's the exact opposite to what transpired in Cavan last week.
Ball is down at the far end then, and Fitzmaurice doing the needful, sitting in that pocket, holding things up, and gives a ball to Niamh Coyle. Coyle, though, is a bit of a hopeful effort, and Jackman is there again. She's covered some amount of ground, as has this lady here as well. Fitzmaurice all the way across, cleared the ball from one side, got over to the other side to be reading the play, but again, it's the ball that's going in, and Aideen Brennan directing it away, and Jackman clears the ball over to this side where Ailish Neville is waiting to pounce onto it, and she does. Ailish Neville now is going to hit the road. She got 4 against Armagh. She's going to hit another one dangerously into the back of the net. It just swiveled in the air and dropped, and I think Michaela Fallon just wasn't expecting the dip on it. Ian, back of the net, disaster for Roscommon.
Yeah, that's absolute disaster for Roscommon. But again, that comes from a hopeful ball that I think it was the Wexford cornerback just did absolutely brilliantly to clear, gets it into Ailish Neville, and she steadied herself, was probably going for a point, but you take your chances, and you get a bit of luck along the way, and this game is slipping away from Roscommon now very, very quickly.
Yeah, no score Roscommon, even though they've had plenty of possession, you would say, and this ball played down along the wing now by Anya O'Mara, trying to find some opportunity there in the half forward line, but Wexford now are making hay, you'd have to say, on what has been a great week for the farmers, you'd imagine, if they're harvesting around the country. Ailish Neville is about to play this ball in field, but it's cut off there, and the chance to clear down the middle. Roscommon needs something to happen for them quickly, because all of a sudden I'm just noticing the Wexford team defensively have moved up the field.
Yeah, they've moved up, and here's another chance of a score.
Tompkins, that looks good. Has got her range in. That's her second one in the quick succession, and as we said, hitting the road now at this moment in time. And this game, no offence, Ian, or any Roscommon viewers here, it could be out of sight at half time here.
That's the way it's looking, Killian. Roscommon, but again, it comes from, Roscommon player gets the ball, not looking up where they're hitting it. It's just basically, I don't want the responsibility, I want to get rid of it as quick as we can. Here, Roscommon on the attack, they need a score.
Yeah, nice little play here between Fitzmaurice and her midfield player. Of course, that's Niamh Coyle, the captain, playing the ball inside. It could have been dangerous though. Kelly Hopkins, I think she tried to be too little intricate with it, and probably needed to get possession and take a score here.
Yeah, she needed to grab it and just have a shot at goal, but she didn't. She just nearly sort of passed the parcel, handed the responsibility to someone else, and there was no one else there, and Wexford cleared the lines. Have to say, I've been really impressed with Claudia Jackman, the player number 2, has cleared an awful lot of ball, and then Ailish Neville is causing an awful lot of difficulty. It's her on the ball again.
Yeah, playing the ball up along the wing here. Ailish Neville has been, as you said, a busy player, as a few of them have, including this lady here who's trying to win the ball, Ciara Banville, in recent weeks with ladies football and Camogie. Ball is flicked back though, and well played there. I have to say, I'm very impressed by Shauna Fallon. There's definitely one that's standing up here in this Roscommon team. Yeah,
it was player of the match last week, I would have to say. Scored, I think, 8 points. Herself and Kelly Hopkins were the chief score getters against Cavan, but it's a more difficult proposition today. But Shauna, one of the stars of this Roscommon team. Problem is, Wexford have a lot of stars as well. You've Jackman, you've Aideen Brennan, you've Ailish Neville, you've Emma Tompkins. I could go through that Wexford team and the scores they've been putting up in their matches so far. And at the moment, they look like they're going to hit something pretty similar at the moment, unless Roscommon can stop the rot.
Well, the scores have been accounted for by 4 of their 6 forwards, so that gives you an idea of the spread of what Wexford are capable of here, as Shauna Fallon St. Dominic's player now steps up to this just inside the Wexford 65. Going to have a strike on it. It's heading towards that left hand upright. It's a dangerous ball though. It's going to drop just on the 30-metre line. Fly shot there. Came off of Nicola Crean. It nearly was heading to that bottom corner, but taken away by the Wexford defence. But Roscommon don't need near misses anymore. They need a score. Just anything they would take, I would imagine, at this stage, Ian.
Yeah, just need a score to settle them down. I mean, you're not going to win a game of camogie if you don't score in 30 minutes of championship camogie. So Roscommon need a score, or you know, it could be a long second half of them.
Fallon again then with this sideline cut. Good cut, but goes through the Wexford hands there, and Roisin Cooney though gets it at the second time. Vask and then loses it, but it's picked up by the Wexford defence, and get that ball clear. And it was Sinead Furlong that sent that ball long, but it's picked up at the other end by Chloe White-Lennon. Chloe directing it down though, probably needed to go to the right, and it's gone down the centre again, where plenty of purple and gold jerseys are. Yeah,
it's just a waste of time at the moment from a Roscommon perspective. Just need to put width into the play. I mean, how many deliveries have we seen going into that full forward line, and they've just come out again just as quick?
Well, they're working very hard, and you'd have to say, like, there's been blockdowns as hooks and everything like that on the Wexford players, so Wexford are not getting it easy, but just you'd have to feel that once it gets beyond maybe the 45 here, you know, Roscommon have run out of ideas in some ways.
Yeah, and I suppose it's, as I said, it's passed the responsibility onto someone else. They just need to put that width into it, and, you know, just change it up a bit, because at the moment what they're doing is not working.
Now, I will say, we're in the stand here. There's a significant breeze that here in Connacht Park in Clane. There could be a little bit of a factor. I don't think it's a match-winning breeze in any kind of sense, and I'm not sure it's built up the 2-4 lead that Wexford have had. But
I think you'll find in the second half is that Wexford will just run with the ball. I mean, they've got those strong runners, and they'll, you know, we've seen that already. So I don't think it's really going to make much difference in terms of the way this game is going to go. But Roscommon just need to get that score. If they get that score, you never know.
Ball is played back over the field then here by Kelly Hopkins, trying to release Fitzmaurice, who had stolen forward, and now she's out of play here at the moment, and Wexford could make hay here, playing the ball down into the corner. Advantage being given by Aaron Hogg. Ball is picked up here by Emma Codd. The St. Martin's player has got inside. This could be danger spilling here now. Martin going to have Codd going to have a shot. The St. Martin's player over the bar. She could have kept going there.
Could have kept going, but you know, she's, from a Wexford point of view, all you need to do at this stage is just keep that scoreboard ticking over. And again, that comes from Kelly Hopkins overhitting her pass to Rachel Fitzmaurice. As you rightly call it, Killian, Rachel Fitzmaurice is out of position. Ball down the other end of the field, and there's a point.
Here's the aforementioned Emma Codden. She's on 2 at the moment. She's given all sorts of problems over there to Niamh Farrell as this ball tried to be played in, but Wexford overplayed it there, and a little bit of relief, I'd imagine, to the Roscommon backs. But as we head towards half-time, it's an 11-point lead for Wexford. It's a long, long way back.
You have to say, Killian, that you don't see where that Roscommon score is going to come from, do you?
Yeah, that's no doubt. And I do know, obviously, you'd have 3 in there, and definitely in Crean and Road. You know, they know where the back of the net can be at times, but they're just being smothered in there at the moment.
And what impressed me with Wexford is they break so quickly. I mean, they get the bodies back, and then, you know, 2 passes later, it's up the other end of the field, and, you know, there's players running off in support if the option is always there.
But the other thing is as well, Wexford, I don't think have committed too many fouls inside the 45 to give Shauna Fallon any easy frees, has they?
No, any one she's had, I think she might have had maybe 2 long-range ones, and, you know, they were very difficult ones.
Ball played up along the far side, and Jackman gets a knockdown on this, and the ball breaks again from Wexford point of view, and they come charging out now with Roisin Cooney, but a bit of a loose pass, and Roscommon have turned it over, looking to get forward here now. Might work out. The Roscommon player is looking to get in there and win it, was Niamh Watson, but the Wexford player got back up off the ground. I thought there was an opportunity to get down a gap in the middle of their defence there. Ball is thrown across here. It's Coyle, the captain, the 4 Roads player, playing a nice intelligent ball into the corner now. This might be something. Her clubmate Nicola Crean looking to step inside now. An opportunity, bounce off her left or her right. Took too long about it there, but gets the ball back, looking to play it across the goal, but the Wexford defence are there. Numbers 18 Brennan, Ashton Halligan. You know, they've been around the block before, and I just feel their touch is that little bit ahead of Roscommon.
Yeah, they're sharper than Roscommon. I mean, as I said, we've earmarked Aideen Brennan. She's been absolutely immense in there. Halligan has been so good. Clodagh Jackman. And when you have, you know, forwards of the calibre of Emma Codd, Ailish Neville, Ciara Banville, Emma Tompkins, you know, they just, you know, you want to get the ball into them as quick as possible, because you know well of their capabilities and you know what they can do.
No question. So I think we saw a yellow card there. Was it for Kelly Hopkins?
Yeah,
I think that Might have been a little bit of a chop down on the Wexford players, getting a little bit of attention here now as we head towards half time. Can't be too much longer left. But impressive from Wexford once they got going and dealt with Roscommon's attacks in the first few minutes. And I would imagine that was a message maybe Frank Brown had gone out, even though they were into the breeze. Let's try and get a score early on the board just to settle things, and unfortunately it just hasn't happened. Ball played down along the wing now. Looking to spin off it there was Emma Tompkins. Got 2 points in this game already, the Kilrush player. Looking to get in there and win it.
I suppose you have to say as well, I think Wexford probably played in Division 2, was it?
They played in Division 3 and won that title.
Yeah, and like Roscommon playing in Division 4, beaten by Cavan, you know, in a league final, and you can see, you know, that first touch, that sharpness that, you know, playing at a higher level that all the Wexford players have. So,
well, fortunes I do know have changed in Wexford, obviously, in the last 18 months or thereabouts with regards to the camogie setup, and you know, you saw their first team get to the senior quarterfinals, and you know, I think it's a case of a rising tide down there maybe at the moment. So unfortunately Roscommon might just be coming up against it today a bit. Yeah,
a bit of momentum, you know, is huge in sport. Looking here, Rachel Fitzmaher, she's absolutely given everything, but just not happening further up the field, unfortunately.
But she's definitely a lady who would fit in with the Wexford team. No doubt about it, Rachel Fitzmaher, but that's a giveaway ball there again. And what I see in as well, though, is that the Roscommon forwards have lined up in a single line, so they should be hit in each corner.
Yeah, absolutely, because the space is there, but you know that's about thinking on your feet in a pressurised situation.
Emer McNally was there to get a good block. Ball is batted away by Michaela Fallon. She's got to be careful already. 2 goals got in by her. It's a spin around here now, and Wexford going for the juggler. This is an opportunity here for the Lisa Furman to put this ball over the bar. She could have went for goal there again, because that Roscommon goal opened up rather easily again, Ian, but she taps it over the bar.
Yeah, could have been another goal, but you know, again, the sensible thing from Lisa Farnan, just take your point, just keep that scoreboard kicking over, and you know, 2-6 to no score. It's a long way back from here from Roscommon point of view, but you know, Wexford have been excellent. You know, they just play into their strengths, and you know, have been really impressed with them.
Yeah, really impressed with the touch that's going on here at the moment now as Emma Codd tries to get forward. Advantage being played here. Banville looking to spin around, giving the ball over. Hogg is going to call it back to a referee. Aaron Hogg is going to call it back for a free, and it's going to be an easy one to tap over here, I'd imagine, for Chloe Cash. And you look, I'm thinking about it as well, though, and I praise maybe Wexford at the other end for not committing fouls, so that Shauna Fallon wouldn't have had easy frees. Roscommon, in fairness, haven't given away too many. Maybe they should have, and maybe that's why Wexford wouldn't have 2-6. This is Wexford's first free.
Yeah, and you were saying that that Chloe Cash got 9 points in the last game, was it? I mean, this is her first attempt at goal, and obviously her first point. So, you know, it's not as if the main score getters, you know, in the previous game have come up trumps, and you know, obviously Roscommon would have said that beforehand, not to be giving away frees, but you know, there's just so many good players in that Wexford team that if Chloe Cash isn't doing the business, or not been given the chance to do the business, you know, there's always someone else to step up into the breach.
And here maybe at the other end is a chance for Shauna Fallon. It's maybe, as you said, on the edge though of her prowess. I think she had a free. It was over near the sideline. It was about 58 metres out, and it dropped on the edge of the square. I just think for a neutral, if you're watching this, it'd be good to see the duck egg removed from beside Roscommon for this first half. At least it might give them something going in here at half time. Shauna Fallon then, the St. Dominic's player, steps up to this. Batting this ball towards the goal, and that's a great score. That is a fabulous score. She actually, to me, I thought she didn't even put her full length into it, and it had about 5 or 10 yards beyond it again.
Well, she had one earlier where she sort of snatched at it, and it sort of didn't have the direction, even though it had the length. So this time, you know, I think it was all about getting the direction and just trusting that she could, you know, that it would have the length.
Oh, I hope there's no problem with that score. I didn't see any issue with it. I know the referee has gone in to talk to both his umpires for something, and maybe he's just checking on player, is it? I think there's some altercation going on. Yeah, I think he's going to have a chat here with Nicola Crean and Aisling Halligan. He's just telling them maybe to mind their P's and Q's for the next few minutes anyway. They don't have long to wait anyway until half time. Just to let you know that Galway have qualified for the All-Ireland Senior Final. They've defeated Tipperary by 113 to 12 points. So no way back into an All-Ireland final for Tipperary, despite taking that fight there. Late goal from Orla McGrath, really cementing things from a Galway point of view as ball played forward here now, and maybe that might give a little bit of a lift to Roscommon that they have got a score as they try to tack on another one maybe before half time. Can't be much longer left as this ball played down the field by Roisin Cooney now. Getting in behind though, here is Lisa Furman. Roscommon really don't want to concede something major here now. Furman just shortens the grip, batting the ball in, it's got to be dangerous. Michaela batting the ball down again, looking to Niamh Farrell to get this ball away, down on the ground, trying to dig it out. Eventually Farrell does, but she's blocked down there as she tried to do that by Emma Tompkins. Still there are Wexford. Aaron Hogg not too far away, keeping an eye on matters, and it's Wexford to come out of the ruck with it, looking to flick the ball inside, but it's there going to be won by the Roscommon defence. And I suppose it was helter-skelter there just in that last few seconds, Ian. Just glad from Roscommon point of view that not a goal conceded at least.
Yeah, with the grace of God, wasn't a goal conceded, but I suppose heroic defending, you could say, from Roscommon, but it was last ditch. I mean, that's the danger that Wexford had. Every time they go in there, they look like they can, get something, and look, Roscommon will be just glad to get the half-time whistle reset, because that first half hasn't gone according to plan at all. But a lot of that is down to Wexford, how good they've been. Now Roscommon, we've highlighted their issues. Their defence haven't done too badly. It's when they get the ball further up the field and the delivery going into the forwards leaves so much to be desired, and you contrast that with what Wexford have done. It's been chalk and cheese, really.
Yeah, well, that's going to be, I would imagine, the one thing Brown is going to take from this is that defensively doing well, but just the ball then to the forwards, they've obviously got to do a hell of a lot better with it.
They have, and look, I'd be interested to see what the possession stats are. I would argue that Roscommon have had as much possession than Wexford. It's what both teams have done with it, and certainly Wexford, the players we've sort of picked out have been really, really good. The Ailish Nevilles, the Emma Codds, the Megan Cullen. As you said, you earmarked it earlier, she was brought in for a reason, and she had justified the management's faith in her within the first 10 minutes with that 1-1, and
yeah.
I suppose that set the template for what was to follow. And a scoreline of 2-7 to 1 points, you can't really see any way back for us coming from here.
Yeah, and a spread of scores indeed. 5 of the starting 6 have scored, and 1 from your midfielder as well. That doesn't bode well from a Roscommon point of view. There's a lot of fires to be put out for the second half, isn't there? There
is, and I don't think there's enough of water in that Roscommon probably rear guard to put them out. But again, I wouldn't criticise the rear guard. I mean, they've been under huge pressure. Roscommon's problems have been further up the field, and in particular, the aimlessness of the deliveries going into the forward line just hasn't been good enough. Like, you want to isolate the likes of Leah Rowe and Nicola Crean inside, not be putting high ball down on top of them when there's 2 or 3 Wexford players around them, and that's been the difference really. Wexford have been ruthless, they've been more clinical, and they deserve to be in front.
So there you have it then with regards to the All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship, a semi-final here at half-time then in Connacht Park in Clane. It looks like Wexford have 1 foot in that All-Ireland final on the 12th of September, where they will face Armagh, or could Roscommon, well, come back out of the flames. We'll wait and see. But, well, there's a lot of talking to be done at half-time from Frank Brown's point of view, and maybe half-time is not going to be long enough to sort out that. But we'll wait and see. Second half still to come here of this All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship semi-final at half-time. It's Wexford 2-7, Roscommon a point. Welcome back to Connaught Park. We're just about to get underway here for the second half of this All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship semi-final. Aaron Hogg throws the ball in. And an opportunity to get on this. Apologies to everyone in Four Roads if I mentioned Shauna Fallon with St. Dominic's. Hope that doesn't mean I can't go to Roscommon in the next few weeks. As this ball is straight away from Wexford point of view, though, knocked in and up and over the bar. And look, meaning business straight away there with Emma Tompkins.
Great score, yeah. Just the start that Wexford would have wanted the second half. So it took Roscommon 30 minutes, I think, to score into that goals in the first half. It's hardly taken Wexford 30 seconds.
Yeah. And into that breeze and everything that we're talking about, not having a huge significant factor now, it would seem to suggest. But, well, ball has been won here by the Roscommon defence, who I have to give plenty of praise to, have, I felt, done quite well, although you are looking at a concession of 2-8, but I don't think it's all been their fault, as trying to get forward with that ball there was Niamh Watson.
I think Roscommon, you just have to take a couple of chances now. I mean, this game is probably lost, but you know, you don't want to end up in a cricket score from a Wexford point of view, you know. So it'd be interesting to see where they position Rachel Fitzmaurice this half. Do they maybe just push her that bit up, because you know she is a player that is capable of getting a couple of scores.
Played in by Shauna Fallon, then dangerous enough ball, and looked like it could have been a touch there for a Roscommon player, but ball has been taken away anyway. And Chloe Cash now, the Barntown player, looking to play out, and then lovely little scoop pass there by the captain Ciara Donoghue. Played on again then, and Megan Cullen got a goal and a point in that first 10 minutes that really put to bed, I think, any Roscommon chance of getting a foothold in this game. Little too intricate though by the Wexford players, but to get in and win this ball back, and it's played across by Emma Codd. Codd looking to charge forward, looked like a foul there committed on Emma Tompkins, and it's going to be a free in. And realistically, Ian, you have to feel that you know, Roscommon needed these scores that Wexford are getting. They're well, I know she hasn't put this ball over the bar yet, but they're easy scores, if you understand me. Then it was probably something Roscommon needed at the other end.
Yeah, Roscommon need to come out with all guns blazing in the second half, but it's Wexford that I suppose are just going to try and you know, cement their superiority now, and you know, put this game to bed as quickly as possible. Maybe give a couple of their subs a run ahead of the All-Ireland final.
Yellow card given there to one of the Wexford or Roscommon players.
Emer McNally, I think.
Yeah, and free coming in then from Chloe Cash. Puts the ball over the bar. Chloe is up and running. Ball out over the line then from the Roscommon puck out, and they don't need that to be happening either. Need every opportunity of keeping this ball in play and keep it moving. And again, just Emer McNally picking up that yellow card here in the opening stages. Sideline cut then from Chloe Cash, blocked away there well by Rachel Dolan. Picked up though by Roisin Cooney. Cooney playing it across field and looking for a little bit of run here off of Emma Tompkins, but it's well won there by Emer McNally. Blocked out though by Emma Codd. McNally though gets back in and wins it well. Plays off the hand pass there to Chloe White-Lennon, the athletic player, playing it down along the wing. Fitzmaurice was looking to peel off, and I think looks like Rachel has gone from the sweeping duties at the moment. I'd say they're going to give it everything that they can and go 15 on 15, but it looks of it, Ian, at the moment anyway. Yeah,
well, they'd have to. They've nothing to lose now. You know, you want to come out and give it a lash in the second half, but you know, Roscommon have probably given away more scoreable frees in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this half than they did in the whole of the first half. So, you know, that's another string to Wexford's bow, and she'd probably hit these over all day in her sleep.
Yeah, they were so disciplined though in the first half, and as we said, the first free that Wexford actually got was in injury time at the end of that first half, and as you said, now we've got two in the space of 90 seconds here at the start of the second, and it's building up confidence here for Chloe Cash, pointing in the direction of the ball wall here, Connaught Park in Clane in County Kildare.
That's good score.
And that is well up high and up and over the bar, even into that breeze. Roscommon crowd trying to urge them on, but unfortunately the scoreboard Well, this game well gone now from Roscommon point of view. You'd feel have any sense of hope, have to stop the scores and probably get a goal in the next few minutes, but Roscommon, in fairness, get back and do that well. And it's cleared eventually then down the field by the captain, Niamh Coyle.
It's to no one though.
But it might bounce through here. Nearly did for Rebecca Brennan. Ball breaks away though, and here's maybe a chance now for Roscommon. Leah Rowe trying to get forward and taking it away from Roisin Cooney. Looking to play this ball in tight to that left hand upright. Dropping in. It's a dangerous ball. Could work out. In there is trying to get it as Crean. Crean is still there. Hauled to the ground. Surely a penalty if he's the hand up. A penalty for Roscommon. And it's maybe that ball that you were talking about that worked so well against Cavan, is it?
Yeah, just I suppose you lump it in on top of the full forward line. I suppose it's something that wasn't really working in the first half, but it was landing was too far out against Cavan. It was coming in on top of the Cavan goalkeeper, and you know that was one that did work out. And you know, look, I suppose it's a chance to rattle the back of the net from Roscommon point of view, and Shauna Fallon from Four Roads. You know, I think you know she'll be really hoping that you know she can hit the net with this one.
Aaron Hogg has gone into his umpires, just
doing a lot of chatting with them today.
Everyone outside the D linesmen are on both sides, keeping an eye on anyone coming in here. It's a clear run for Shauna Fallon. She has to go for goal here though, up against Lara O'Shea. So it's Four Roads against Glyn Barntown. Goes for the strike. She hit it straight down the teeth of her though. Got loads of power on it, just should have been in the bottom corner, but Crean wins the ball back. Back out it goes, all the way out towards Watson. Watson has to come around the house a little bit. Niamh looking to give it back maybe to Rachel Fitzmaurice, but the ball looks like it's being won by Wexford. Yeah. Wexford swarmed there in numbers and getting back there and doing the needful and helping out Roisin Cooney. Cooney gets a touch out, and Wexford are going to build out from that missed opportunity in any sense of way, and it just goes to show you Roscommon's luck today. Yeah,
just not Roscommon's day. I suppose, you know, 9 times out of 10 Shauna Fallon sticks that in the back of the net, but not today. Hit it far too high, and the Wexford goalkeeper Lara O'Shea did, you know, got behind it and cleared the danger. But excuse me, it was the Wexford defending after that which was just as impressive. I mean, obviously, you know, while the forwards have been doing the business for Wexford, the defence trying to take a bit of pride, and you know they don't want to concede a goal. And once their goalkeeper did the business, you know, the Wexford defenders were going to make sure that Roscommon weren't going to get a score out of it, and that's a very good sign of an excellent team.
Just thought very disciplined, all right, the way they shepherded, you know, Niamh Watson and Rachel Fitzmaurice, you know, further out and away from the D, then
not give away a foul.
Gone.
Yeah, don't give away a foul.
Ball played down along the far side then here at Connacht Park and Clane. An opportunity then for Wexford to come again with Ailish Neville playing this ball inside. Ball is across the field here. Lovely taking in control and movement here out of their full forward. Emma Codd got 2 points already. Sends it towards that right hand upright over the bar. The umpires like it. The flag goes up and Emma Codd has her 3rd point of the game here. St. Martin's player gets things ticking on again here.
See the difference there, Killian, in terms of the ball that she got. She got a diagonal ball into space, and it allows her then to seize the moment and hit a great score. And they're on the attack here again. Here's one of your standout players for Wexford, Clodagh Jackman. Wow. That is some score for a cornerback. Yeah, well, I suppose it's your day when your cornerback can come up and hit a score like that, and you know they just keep piling on the scores, and like 2-12 to 1 point is a pretty big scoreboard. Yeah, it definitely is, and you'd feel, from a Roscommon point of view, it's tough coming up against a Wexford team that probably are a grade above you, at least anyway, as this ball is played in by Niamh Watson now, and Roscommon just have to go for broke here. Leah Rowe, that's a fine score, probably one of the scores of the game. Yeah, and that's what she's capable of when she gets into a bit of space. And what you're probably going to find out, Killian, that this game is going to open up, and you know Roscommon are going to, you know, get their fair percentage of scores. Obviously they've left themselves with too much to do, but you know, you're going to see the likes of Leah Rowe and, you know, some of these Roscommon players that haven't done themselves justice in the first 40 minutes. You know, you're going to see the best of them hopefully now for the next 20 minutes. Free over on the far side though, and I will just say one thing, and I know again, and we've got to be careful here, because, you know, you're looking at players that probably essentially are a grade, if not 2 grades apart in some senses of the word, but when you see a Wexford player
2-on-1 against a Roscommon player, no foul committed. 2 Roscommon players there, 1 Wexford player, foul committed.
Yeah, that probably comes from, you know, maybe a lack of experience of playing at a higher level, but it's probably a bit of tiredness now at this stage as well, because those Roscommon defenders have been doing so much chasing for this afternoon, and that's probably going to catch up with them now in these final 20 minutes.
So talking to there by Aaron Hogg.
I think number 7 for Roscommon was booked, Anya Mara.
As that free comes in, and Chloe Cash, well, you might hear the breeze on our microphone, that's what she's hitting into, but well, there's no question about it, she's making light of it. And with 10 minutes gone in the second half here, mounting on now with 2-13 to 2 points. It doesn't make pretty viewing or reading for Roscommon. It looks like Wexford will be booking the tickets for an All-Ireland final appearance with Armagh. If they haven't booked them already, they will be tomorrow morning, I'd imagine, as this ball is played inside. Lovely intricate play here by Wexford. Going to have a shot, and it's a goal from Chloe Cash. She just was involved in knocking the free over the bar in literally 40 seconds ago. Comes around the house on the loop then off that break, and is on the end of a fine move by Wexford back at the net.
Yeah, but it was just, you know, wonderfully worked goal. I think it was Ailish Neville just picked her out into Chloe Cash, and you know, that's something Roscommon weren't doing in the first half, but Wexford now going to bring in Kate Devereux, I think, here. Yeah,
Kate Devereux is coming in, as they say. Devereux's down in Wexford. Devereux in a few other parts of the country, but here anyway is Kate Devereux from the Ratgar Road Cushinstown Club. She replaces the number 11 Ciara Banville. Maybe Ciara is being minded a little bit, thinking of the ladies football final she has to play next week.
Sign of the cooperation, I suppose, between the ladies football and the camogie, that, you know, there's a bit of common sense. If she has a big game next week, just take her off now in the knowledge that this game is won.
Rachel Fitzmaurice then coming charging forward, and I think for her you'd like to see an opportunity of her to maybe get a score, as I think Rachel has been a standout player for Roscommon. 1 or 2 others, but just think she's been impressive when she's been on the ball. Opportunity of Roscommon with batted ball, but that wasn't really an opportunity there. Rebecca Brennan would like to see again 4 Wexford players. It's very, very hard to get a score out of what she was trying to do there, but this ball might work out now. Back down the field, Niamh Watson over on the far side, the possible angle, but this will be some score. That is a cracking effort from Niamh Watson, and again, probably one of the scores of the game.
Yeah, and I suppose again, a player that, you know, probably didn't have the best of first half, but again, great to show what she can do, you know, when I suppose pressure is probably off a bit both teams now. The game is over, and as we said, we're going to see some of these scores, and you know, it's good that the Roscommon players can show what they can do, because they've been up against a formidable opponent this afternoon.
Megan Cullen then that gets onto this ball. The Castledown Lee Mellows player moves the ball on. She got a goal and a point in the opening 10 minutes that really got this game on the way for Wexford, as that ball is batted in and over the bar. Another score there for the number 13, Emma Tompkins. 4 points for her, and well, she's just taking some fine efforts here now as well. 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half. As Roscommon's Niamh Watson now, and all of a sudden the sweeper can be dispensed with from a Wexford point of view, as Watson came forward. I think she just fell down herself there, not in the league with it, but here's Leah Rowe, got a fine point moments ago, looking to get forward. Looked like she got a little bit of a shove there, with the referee is allowing an advantage to Wexford. And eventually it's cleared by centre-back Aideen Brennan. Ball down along the wing here, trying to get a touch on it now, because a lot of these players, I'd imagine, Ian, are thinking of Croke Park now on All-Ireland final day, and wanting to hold on to the shirt, or maybe grab a position on it too.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the biggest occasion to play in Croke Park on All-Ireland final day, and these Wexford players, you know, they're not going to take their foot off the accelerator. They're going to keep on trying to make sure that, you know, when the first 15 jerseys are handed out in Croke Park, that you know, they're going to get one of them.
Roscommon change, looks like 24. Is it Niamh Conway from Athleague is in for Leah Rowe? Yeah. Leah, I'm sure, would have liked to have stayed on, seeing that she was hitting the ground there a little bit now in a bit of a run. Looks like Wexford are going to introduce number 25. That's Katie Smith from Cranford Monaseed. She's about to get ready to come in there. In there trying to win this ball now is Rachel Fitzmaurice. As she comes out with it and charges away. She's been tracked all the way by Chloe Cash. Fitzmaurice though pumps a nice little ball in now. This is a nice little take. Held position well there. Nice score. Nicola Crean. And as we know now, I suppose the shackles are off, and opportunity, as you said, to express yourself rightly in as that chance goes over the bar there.
Yeah, lovely score from Nicola Crean. Again, good play by Rachel Fitzmaurice, and there's subs coming in all over the place here at the moment.
Yeah, Katie Smith is on for Wexford. I think Roscommon are going to run a few at the moment as it is. I think it is the number 15 is at Lisa Furman for Wexford, has been replaced there. Just looking at Roscommon have also introduced Maeve Tiernan from Matt League. Just trying to see, it looks like, yeah, Rebecca Brennan, just see number 12 heading to the dugout there. So we're going to see plenty of that, I'd imagine, in the next few minutes. All right. As Wexford lead by 3-14 to 4 points here. And on the way to Croke Park. Ball, dangerous ball now. Got to be careful and batted away there, Michaela Fallon. Ball is knocked out here towards Cullen Dole. Went to get that ball. Definitely got a nudge in the back there from Rachel Dolan. And it's going to be a free in.
It's a tired challenge, wasn't it, Killian? Just sort of not the sort of challenge you give away in the first 10 minutes of a game when the adrenaline is pumping and you know you're sort of clued in.
Cullen, I suppose, had just got that little bit of a touch on Dolan, and she just then, I suppose, trying to make sure she wasn't going to get a score off her. Just give her the nudge, but it's a free to Chloe Cash. I'd imagine it's bread and water to her. Puts this ball up and over the bar. And we were talking about how Chloe Cash had been kept quite for that first half, well, since injury time. At the end of the first half, she has notched for herself 1-5, so that's been a turning point as we take a water break here. 3-15 to 4 points. I think Ian will just give the vocal cords a break here, because there's nothing more we can say. Wexford are definitely the ones on top here and lead at 3-15 to 4. We'll be back. So water break over. Frank Brown, not sure what he's going to be able to say to those girls over there, but they are slow to break away from the group. Their season, unfortunately for them, coming to an end in the next while. And I suppose in a way, sure to give them any little bit of a pick-me-up. I suppose to bounce back from that Division 4 final loss, which was quite heavy in against Cavan, but to come back then, I suppose, and beat Cavan in the quarter-final, that's a positive if you're to take anything from it.
It is a positive, but I think going forward from a Roscommon Camogie point of view, if you're going to challenge for All-Ireland Junior Premier Championships, you're not going to be doing it playing in Division 4. You need to be up, in Division 3 at the very least, and that's where Wexford have been this year. They've been so successful, and that's where Armagh have been, and that's why they're playing at a higher level, and that's why they're in the final. Two best teams in the competition. Yeah,
no question. And I think a Wexford team that would survive in Division 2, there's no doubt about that, as they will be there next year. But ball is played forward, and Roscommon knee foul now. Got to be careful, get this ball clear. Being charged down there by a combination of Emma Codd and Megan Cullen. Ball is trying to get forward. Cullen, though, is taken there by knee foul. And
I think that's the blatant yellow card.
Yeah, and she's walking away like every full back would. Knows they're after taking down the forward coming in, and she's still walking. Aaron Hogg, though, is sure it's number 3 anyway, and it's a yellow card. Niamh Farrell knew she was getting a card there. She wasn't going to hang around.
If it was in Gaelic football, it was a definite black card.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubts about that. Another chance for Chloe Cash then. And she splits the Connacht Park Clane goalpost here with another fine free. Although some of the ones that she's been given have been quite easy now in this.
There's a couple of cars behind that goalmouth. They're in danger because they're clearing the net every time.
Ball breaks now, and it's Fitzmaurice looking to play this ball forward, but Watson went left and the ball went right, and it's going to be picked up by the Wexford defence. Going to be cleared and played forward here now, trying to get on and win that ball is Wexford's number 10, Kate Devericks. Kate was changed late on. Megan Cullen came in, and but she's made her place into the game here now, Kate Devericks, and as we said, she's strapped her a little bit around the calves there, I can just see. So that might have been probably a reason why she wasn't able to start here, Kate Devericks. Looking at change, plenty of them coming in for Wexford. Looks like number 22, Darren Cullen, going to join Megan on the field of play here. And it looks like number 19, Grace Roach, for the Glenbarntown Club, is going to come in as well. And it's Ailish Neville, who will be, of course, busy for the lady footballers next weekend. She's plays a key role for them at wing forward. She's been called ashore with 10 minutes remaining, and will be full-time recovery over the next week, I'd imagine. Preparation for that game. 8 minutes gone in Croke Park. A point apiece in the senior game. Of course, Galway already in the final, who will be joining them. So get this opportunity to clear. We now are aware of the Premier Junior finalists are going to be Armagh and Wexford, but that's a fine score there by Roscommon, Shauna Fallon.
Yeah.
Fine score from play on the run there, with 10 minutes remaining or thereabouts. Anyway, it's going to be Wexford and Armagh. The Premier Junior final. Intermediate decider is going to be between Antrim and Kilkenny. The senior final is going to see Galway and whoever wins between Cork and Kilkenny. So going to be sorting out here for today as Wexford make that substitution. And it's number 13, Emma Tompkins, who's also involved in the ladies football panel next week from Wexford. She's been replaced there, and Grace Roach is on for her. As Rachel Fitzmaurice tried to come out with that ball there. Shauna Fallon then with this opportunity. It's just a shame maybe the penalty was missed. Ian might, just have
taken the big look off the scoreboard, yeah.
As the ball breaks here, Niamh Conway in the setup for Roscommon, trying to get in there and win that ball, but it's Fitzmaurice that's trying to hold up the attentions of Clodagh Jackman. Definitely one of the standout players for Wexford here today, as is that lady that just played that ball there, Chloe Cash, but Devericks won't be quite happy with the ball that she played her, but it's on the ground now. Fitzmaurice trying to kick it away from Jackman. Jackman's still in there trying to dig it out. She's on her knees, but she's still able to win the ball somehow and give it off here. Devericks trying to get forward. Ball is knocked out of her hand, and I thought it might have been a Wexford ball, but no, linesman quite happy to give it to Roscommon.
I suppose if we were to look at the games in the league coming into this, you had, was it Wexford beating Armagh by 5 points, Clare beating Roscommon in the championship by a couple of points. So, Armagh really beating Clare comfortably yesterday, and I suppose the form has played out maybe as we thought it might. Yeah.
I think look, I would have seen them in the Division 3 final. They were definitely, to me, the standout teams at that stage, and they looked like they weren't going to be troubled. Big thing, I suppose, for a number of teams was that they weren't going to get caught up in relegation or anything like that, and I suppose that's an achievement for, let's say, Cavan alone, that they made the step up to Premier Junior. And maybe for Roscommon, they just probably need as you said, maybe the target for Frank Brown next year now will be to get to Division 3 and then maybe
build from there in
that scenario.
Couldn't agree more with you, Killian.
The only thing is that you'll be glad probably to see the back of Wexford, that they won't be in the Premier Junior next year, but if they win, or Armagh, but you're going to be coming up against one of those two again next year. It's going to take an almighty effort over the next year or 2 years to win a Premier Junior title.
Well, this is a long-term project, you would think, for Frank Brown. I mean, he's only in year one, given the year we've just had with COVID. Hasn't, what has he had? Maybe 3-4 months to work with the players. So, they've got to go away, learn from this, and, come back next year, lessons absorbed. make priority from Division 4 an absolute priority.
Yeah, and you would hope as well from a Roscommon point of view. I know a number of players have come back into the setup this year, obviously being encouraged back in by Frank, that they don't decide now to walk away again, that to stick around and wait with it.
Yeah, well, you got to, I suppose, look at the setup as a whole, and there seems to be a feel-good factor around the setup this year. So maybe there wasn't there in previous years, and the best players weren't playing for Roscommon. Most of them are back now this year, and it's a long-term project.
There's a lady that might be on that long-term project. That is a fine score from Niamh Watson. It was the clearance here, a cracking clearance by Rachel Dolan, who caught up in a little bit of traffic, got the ball down the wing. But Watson had to come on a 20-yard diagonal run in to get on that ball. She beat Ciara Donoghue to it, and then at a very tight angle. Again, she's got one fine score already. That's her second big one here today.
I think the other one was over the far side of the field, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, they're two absolutely brilliant scores from Niamh Watson, and you have to say, along with maybe Rachel Fitzmaurice, probably one of Roscommon's better players today.
Yeah, well, since the water break, a couple of scores there now for Wexford. Being urged on here now again to try and have a crack off this. Wexford down the other end trying to get forward, but Aaron Hogg had the advantage up, but he's called it back. It's going to be a free to imagine Chloe Cash is going to line up too. Chloe, as we said, only had really been troubling the scoreboard in injury time at the end of the first half, but since all that has notched 1-5. So 1-6 so far she has. The goal, a fine goal, I have to say, a fine team effort. And it's out here now on the 65 she is. And, well, not sure if she has 65 range. We'll find out very quickly, but we've seen her with plenty of distance behind some long-range frees already. Comes up and gets great connection on this. This is some score from Chloe Cash. She doesn't seem to miss.
When you have that in your armoury, Killian, it's quite a weapon to have. I mean, that's fully, 65 yards out into a wind?
Yeah, absolutely. Fine score indeed. And a lady, as he said, got 9 points against Armagh, now has a total of 1-4 here. Well, sorry, I should say 1-7 in this game. And to think she hadn't got a score up until the 32nd minute of the first half.
27 for Roscommon in here.
The 27 Roscommon is Sinead O'Brien, the Four Roads player.
And for Nicola Crean.
So one clubmate for another. I suppose a chance to experience an All-Ireland semi-final, which unfortunately for Roscommon hasn't gone their way here today. But Ian, I know you'd be wearing the primrose and blue hat, but Wexford, they really probably shouldn't be in the Premier Junior competition when you consider the talent that they have, but they have gone through a few lean years down in Wexford Camogie, and a fine performance here today.
Oh, absolutely. They've been superb. Really, really impressed with them. They have 4, 5, 6 players that, like all teams at this level, are absolutely central to everything they do, but they're strong all over the field, and you'd have to make them favourites for the final.
And that's a good score by Sinead O'Brien. The way that ball eventually worked the Four Roads player just in on the field of play, and she gets on the scoreboard here as we head towards splashdown then. I just get you to pinpoint maybe a player of the match, Ian, just for pig iron's sake, that we'll be able to stand out as Wexford's number 19, Grace Roach. Glenbarntown player looking to get forward here, and the roll lifting it up there, Cash, but she lost control of it, lose it the second time, and it's eventually taken away from her by Niamh Conway. Ball out here towards Rachel Fitzmaurice, trying to get forward. Deverix gives it out to Roach. Roach throws it back, and it might have been a throw, and some people were calling it there, to Jackman. Clodagh Jackman, definitely a standout player for Wexford here today, along with likes of Aideen Brennan, Ailish Neville when she was on the field. Chloe Cash, I suppose, takes some of that as well. A lot of their forwards take standout here as this shot is dropping short and into the grateful hands of Michaela Fallon, the Oran player, playing it over to the far side. Lovely take there by Anya O'Mara up along the wing now, asking a lot of Watson, but well, the St. Dominic's player has been busy, and here she goes now, looking for a little bit of a diagonal run, goes for the score. As her third of the game it is, and maybe she could have thought of working it in there for a goal, but in fairness to Niamh Watson, took her score, and she's hit 3 fine scores here.
Yeah, another brilliant score from Niamh, showing what you can do. 3 excellent points for her in this match, and certainly hasn't let the side down today.
No, as the charge comes on now again. This game was done at half-time at 2-7 to a point as Fitzmaurice plays this ball in. It drops into Lara O'Shea's hand, and she steps out. She saved the penalty from Shauna Fallon after 37 minutes. Not sure it would have turned the game around in any sense of the imagination, but it might have taken maybe some of the bad luck off that scoreboard, as Ian said earlier on. Shauna probably just hit it more direct at her, but Lara got it away. And here come Wexford now again with Katie Smith. Some of these subs that have come in, of course, looking for a starting role in Croke Park on the 12th of September, where it will be the first of the trilogy that day, where of course it will be Wexford against Armagh for the K Mills Cup. That game will be the first one of the day in Croke Park on the 12th of September. Then it'll be followed by the intermediate final, and that should be a cracker between Antrim and Kilkenny. Antrim have already beaten Kilkenny this year. Armagh have already lost to Wexford 3 times, so that could be an interesting one. And then the senior decider will be between the ladies from Galway, and it could be Cork or Kilkenny. That game just underway, the Cork and Kilkenny one. Tickets, don't forget, will be available. And well, Camogie Association, it's a test event, I still believe, as well. 40,000 they are allowed, and you'd be hoping people would get out in numbers and go and watch the action, because that senior final, however it is, promises to be a cracking one. Cork have opened up a lead against Kilkenny, 5 points to 2. And a lot of people reckoning that Cork were lying in the long grass for that game against Kilkenny. Oh, Kilkenny looking to put the intermediate and senior team in the All-Ireland finals. As Chloe Cash has another shot at the post here, puts that ball over the bar. So it's already going, has Leinster and Ulster representation in both Premier Junior and in the intermediate. Cork probably trying to disrupt matters there, because Galway have got in with a Connacht representation. So looking to get Munster represented on All-Ireland final day. That'll be all 4 provinces represented as Wexford come on the attack here now. An opportunity to drive forward. Still laid on, maybe searching goal opportunities there, but the ball gets away from the Wexford number 24, Muireann Fitzpatrick, who's into the game there as well. I think all the Castletown Lee Mellows players are on the field of play there now, as that ball goes out wide. (1-8) now for Chloe Cash ultimately in this game. 3-17 to 8 points on the scoreboard. I suppose when you score 1-8, Ian, you're probably one of the standout players. Is she in the running for your player of the match?
She will be, yeah, definitely. Chloe Cash, Eilish Neville when she was on the field, Emma Codd, really, really good. But I think when the game was competitive, Wexford's backs were really, really good. That another score, no, it's just gone out to the right and wide, but I find it very hard to separate between Clodagh Jackman and Aideen Brennan, but I think I was really, really impressed with Clodagh Jackman, the number 2 for Wexford, and I think she deserves to be player of the match.
Yeah, I think a good choice there indeed. And here she is, just getting a flick of that ball, and she just does enough to be able to get it back to Aideen Brennan and get forward. She also got a fine point and lovely little jinking run up the field, and was able to get the ball over the bar. She's coming here searching to get a lovely take into the hand here. Our player of the match giving it off to Cash. Cash looking to get forward. If there another goal in Wexford, Roscommon are hoping that there won't be. Looking to get charging forward here on it now. Darren Cullen thinking about it, but she's overplayed the ball, and the referee says it's going to be a free out. 3-17 to 8 points, and can't be much longer left now. Aaron Hogg, the Clare match official, is he going to have a talking to one of the Wexford players, waiting for this free to be taken. And coming to the end of this broadcast of the All-Ireland Premier Junior Championship semi-final, Wexford and Armagh will be the teams in Croke Park. A yellow card there given to the Wexford number 22, Darren Cullen. As this ball played long, Wexford cut it out though. Looking to get forward here on it now. Wexford scoring 110 in the second half. Roscommon mounting up with 7 points, so little bit more competitive, I suppose, that second half, but damage all done in the first. And I suppose Roscommon, it's a learning curve, and as you said, a work in progress. This is free, going to be taken by Cash. 1-8 to her name. Drives this. Look at the height on that, but it's going to actually, would you believe, drop short, and it's batted away by the custodian for Roscommon, Michaela Fallon. But it's picked up by Wexford. They're coming charging forward here now. Cullen going to have a shot off there, but the ball broke on the ground there. Darren Cullen looking to get in and do what Megan had done in the first half. Ball is still on the ground and trying to get it away, but it's the Roscommon defence clearing there. It is game done and dusted. 3-17 to 8 points. I suppose a golfing class here, and no question about it, shows the difference in where maybe they're playing their league camogie action, whatever. Wexford obviously in Division 3 and have now got up to Division 2. Roscommon playing in Division 4. Ultimately there was a difference in class and grade here, wasn't there?
A huge difference in class, and certainly Roscommon gave it everything, but that's a fine Wexford team, skillful, they're physical, they've got all the attributes really to go on and win a championship now, and Armagh going to really put it up to them in the final, but on the basis of what we've seen today, that Wexford team are going to be hard stopped. So
the scenario though for Wexford, they are going to be hard stopped. Their touch and everything about them was so clean and clinical on occasion, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they've just good players all over the field. There's no weak link in the team, and when the game was competitive earlier on and Roscommon had all the possession, their backs through Clodagh Jackman and Aidan Brennan in particular just snuffed out that Roscommon threat, and eventually that provided the leeway for the forwards to go on and win the game. And when you've got Ciara Banville, Emma Codd, Ailish Neville, Emma Tompkins, Megan Cullen, who came in from the cold today and was absolutely brilliant early on, got 1-1, and then you bring in the quality of the subs they brought in off the bench, and they just keep the scoreboard ticking over, and a superb performance from Wexford, and they deserve to be in the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, deserve to be in it. Haven't ever won the K-Mills Cup, lost 3 finals in the 70s, so they're hoping to right that wrong against the reigning Premier Junior champions, of course, in Armagh. And that game again, as I said, on the 12th of September. And a busy few weeks now it is going to be for Aisling Halligan, Ailish Neville, Ciara Banville and Emma Tompkins. They're all involved with the lady footballers of Wexford as well, who are in the intermediate final next weekend in Croke Park, and they follow that up with the Premier Junior final the following end, then at headquarters. For Roscommon, Ian, we won't tie you up too much longer, but for Frank Brown, I suppose the positives in that they bounced back from that league the final defeat, which he would have been very disappointed in, but they hadn't had a whole lot of time together, I believe, before that anyway. As you said, maybe a term to look at for a long-term project and get out of Division 3 or Division 4.
Yeah, that's what they need to do next year. They need to dust themselves down from this disappointment. That this is the standard that you need to get to now to be challenging for All-Ireland Premier Junior Championships. Roscommon are a long way off that, but they're coming from such a low base, and certainly Division 4, as I said to you earlier on, isn't the place to be sort of to be your launch pad for possibly winning the championship. You need to be in the higher divisions, so a bit of national silverware next year in the league, and take your chances in the championship. But it's a long-term project. The players out there, they'll be devastated this evening. They'll be hurting this week, but they just need to realise that it's going to take time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and they just have to. Wexford have set the bar. This is where the standard is at to be in Croke Park on All-Ireland final day, and Roscommon have an insight into that now. They have to go away, work harder, and when they get back, hopefully we'll all have a bit more of a normal GA season next year. And try and get out of Division 4, and they should be in good nick then for the championship.
Yeah, hopefully so, and you wish him the best of luck with that. Thanks, Ian, for joining us then here on commentary this afternoon. I'm sure we can pick up the paper during the week and we'll get your views on the game as well. So thanks indeed to Ian from the Roscommon Herald joining us here this afternoon with the views on that encounter. So it will be Armagh and Wexford then in the Premier Junior final in Croke Park on the 12th of September. The intermediate final is Antrim and Kilkenny. The senior decider will be between Galway and Cork. At the moment lead Kilkenny by 3 points. So that all to be played out, as we said, on the 12th of September in headquarters. Just to let you know as well that if you're not done with Camogie for today and you're not going to switch over now to the TV and watch Cork and Kilkenny to the end there, at 5 o'clock Darren Kelly will have commentary of the Nancy Murray Cup final. Could it be the story of the year? Mayo back playing Camogie for the first time in 50 years, competing in an All-Ireland final. Well, they take on, of course, last year's beaten finalist Tyrone. That game throws in at 5 o'clock in Park Sean McDermott. So if you want to catch more Camogie action, that is on the way, being streamed as well here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. Make sure and tune in for that. But from myself and Ian Cooney to Callum and John for the great work done in the background as well, I've been Killian Whelan. We'll talk to you again soon. Good luck to you.